Hello, sporty people, and welcome back to the Sporty Side Up. For the past days, African football has been in the limelight for the wrong reasons. This is not the first time we have had these sort of issues, but I believe this is the first time that a national team has felt threatened or afraid for their lives and safety. If you didn't already know about this, I'm talking about the saga between Nigeria Super Eagles and Libya Football Federation and authorities. The Super Eagles were scheduled to play Libya in the reverse fixture of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations Afcon. The first leg was played in Uyo in Akwa Ibom State. That game ended 1-0 in favor of the Super Eagles. The second leg was supposed to hold on Tuesday, on the 15th of October in Libya. The Super Eagles left Nigeria on Sunday to be at the venue of the game early enough, but their flight was dangerously and suspiciously diverted, that is according to the Nigeria Football Federation. So there have been claims and counterclaims by the NFF and the Libya Football Federation. But before we go into that, let's give you some visuals of what Nigeria's Super Eagles players and the technical officials had to go through. That is the supposed driver of a 14-seater bus that was eventually given to the team to find their way to Benghazi, where the game was supposed to hold, which obviously was denied by the Super Eagles, because how can they all fit into that bus? That's not possible. Let's also listen to the pilot on what transpired between him and the Libyan officials at the airport. So please take a listen.
Anything. This is our flight plan, so we cannot say something which is not wrong, because there is a lot of cross-check and a lot of redundancy in aviation. So they cannot hide this information or say other than the truth. The truth was, we was going to Benghazi, and I can show you also the evidence of the approval. I have it. Yes. So after that, they changed their mind, and at the last minute, they changed the airport. Even the airport was not, it's like a domestic airport. It's not well equipped. There is no ILS, no air nav approach, no VUR. So we make it visually to be able to land, because in case of go around, we cannot go anywhere. So it was our first and last chance.
And I heard that you've been in that area before. Was that problem?
Yes, thank God I worked there for 2 years with Tunisian company. So I know the area very well, and it was not an easy matter at all.
So the NFF said they chartered a value jet aircraft that departed from Victor Atta International Airport in Uyo at 15 hours on Sunday. Then from there they got to the Aminu Kano Airport in Kano, where they completed immigration formalities. And the flight took off from Kano at 15:18 hours, that's about 3:18 p.m. And the flight was supposed to be almost a 4-hour flight, and they were scheduled to arrive Libya by 8 p.m. That's the Benghazi airport in Libya by 8 p.m. But just as they were about to commence the initial approach into Benghazi, the captain, the pilot of the plane, was instructed by the control tower to land instead at a much smaller and obscure Al Abrak airport. And according to the NFF, the airport lacked the control navigations for landing at the time they were supposed to land. The pilot complained, but those complaints fell on deaf ear. However, they landed at about 19:50 hours, that's some minutes to 8 o'clock. Upon arriving, the NFF realized that the airport was not a well-utilized facility, and that there were no scanning machines or no usual equipment that you usually see at a standard airport. And the officials had to make do with mobile phones to scan passport data pages, which I don't think it's normal in any part of the world. So on the side, the NFF claims that a lot of their delegates, including the president of the NFF, were not shown respect upon arrival at the airport, and they were mistreated. And if you look at this video you're seeing on your screen right now, you see an NFF official being shoved aside, and another person that was recording his phone was he was asked to stop recording, and they almost snatched his phone from him. Just look at that. At the airport, no official of the Libyan Football Federation was at the airport to receive the delegation, which is the usual practice the world over. Once you arrive at a country or state for any event, there should be delegates of the host country or state to receive the teams, but it was not so in this situation. And when they tried to go out of the airport to find an alternative means of transportation, they were denied exits from the airport. Aside being denied exits, they were also denied food or water at the airport. Imagine after so long. Nigeria Football Federation Secretary Mohammed Sanusi tried repeatedly to reach across to his counterpart in the Libyan Football Federation, the person of Abdul Nasser, but those calls to him, messages to him yielded no fruit, as he kept promising that buses will be on their way, buses will arrive in 10 minutes and whatnot. But it took longer than that, obviously, because the Super Eagles had to stay in that airport for close to 20 hours. It is unfortunate that this is happening in Africa. We're all supposed to be one Africa. Now to the counter claims and accusations from the Libya Football Federation. So the Libyan team are claiming that they also received the same treatment from the Nigeria Football Federation. They say that they were scheduled to land at an airport near the city where the match was to take place, but shortly before their arrival, the airport authorities instructed the pilot to divert to another airport approximately 350 kilometers away from the match location. Upon landing, the situation deteriorated further as we experienced some professional treatment by the security personnel at the airport. Our team was then forced to travel through dense forest and remote jungle roads in the middle of the night without any security escorts. The hardships we encountered are evident in the footage we've shared, which clearly demonstrates the unacceptable conditions we faced. We believe it is important to bring attention to these issues to ensure fair and safe conditions for all teams participating in international competitions. This is coming from the Libyan Football Federation. It's on the official X channel. My first question here is, why did they have to wait till this time to voice out? It seemed like they were waiting to revenge what they claim the Nigerian Football Federation did to them. Also reacting to these claims, the NFF Director of Communications, Ademola Olajire, insists the Libyan team were not mistreated. Let's listen to him.
Tuesday, we got to know from somebody sent as an advance party on Monday night that the team will be leaving on Tuesday. So there was no talk, no specifics on where the team will be landing. So we assumed correctly that the team will be landing in Uyo because the Benin Republic team that came last month landed in Uyo. So it was an hour when the team had already been airborne an hour on Tuesday, due to land in 3 hours, that we were told that they were going to land in Port Harcourt. We had buses, we had logistics, everything planned, waiting for the team at the Victor Atta International Airport in Uyo. You landing in Port Harcourt. What happened? They said they could only get landing permit for Port Harcourt. But you should have told us. They didn't do that. And all they were asking for was, get us buses, get us security, we're ready to move. But we looked at, possibly the difficulties they will be facing if they have to travel by road from Port Harcourt to Uyo. So we moved mountains and, and valleys to ensure that the Nigerian federal authorities, granted them approval to fly with their aircraft from Port Harcourt to Uyo once they were done with immigration formalities at the Port Harcourt International Airport. That was secured, but apparently aware that would be additional cost to the Libya Football Federation. They opted out of it. They didn't want to incur extra expenses, from the charter company. So they opted to travel by road. And we secured buses for them. They rejected those buses. They hired buses on their own, only for them to be saying They were given buses that had no air conditioning facility.
You've heard from the Director of Communications of the Nigerian Football Federation. This is a case of he said, she said. Every side on this issue have made their claims, but we have to wait for the umbrella body of football in Africa, that is the Confederation of African Football, to make their findings, to do their investigations and come out with their findings and let us know who is at fault and who is being sanctioned. It's all down to CAF's decisions in the end. Well, the Super Eagles are already back home because they refused to play that match and have boycotted the game. They said they would rather lose 3 points than to play in that condition, and CAF has ordered a replay of that game, and the time and dates have not been fixed yet, but we are waiting to see when the game will be played. The matter has been referred to the CAF Disciplinary Board for investigation, and appropriate action will be taken against those who violated the CAF statutes and regulations. Until they release the findings, we'll wait and see what happens. While we wait for that, let me know what you're thinking about all of this and drop your thoughts in the comment section. We don't need things like this in African football. In Europe, you don't see things like this. Why are we different? Why is it different with Africa? We need to stand up. I wish CAF would take this up seriously and start meting out punishments. So keep the comments coming. Until the next video, see ya.